All right, in this demonstration, I want to show you really quickly how you can use the BlendIf blending option. So if I go down, I have a document that's 720p. So if I go and place one of my files, let's do, first of all, let's do the clouds as a background layer, and we'll just go ahead and accept that. And I'm going to create a video timeline. So there we have the clouds in our timeline. And the next thing I'm going to do is import or place linked, I should say, a fly that's walking on our screen. So I'll go ahead and import that. And I'm going to go ahead and pull my timeline out to find where the fly appears, and I'm going to clip my, or edit, I should say, my video so that it starts from the beginning. And what I want to be able to do is see this fly walking around, but without this background. I want to see the sky coming through it in the video below. So what I can do is I can take my fly here and let me close this. I can go down here under FX and I can choose the blending options. All right, and there are a few things that you're going to notice. One is that down here it says BlendIf, and you can choose different colors. I'm going to stick with gray because I want some basic bright, really bright tones that are more towards the white range. I'm not trying to target a specific color. And what I can do is, like, I can take either the underlying layer or this layer, but what I want is I want to remove the really light pixels from this layer. So I'm going to pull this down, and you start to see it degrading and pulling some of the stuff away, right? Well, that doesn't look so good, but if I hold down my my Option or my Alt key, depending on if you're on Mac or Windows, as I'm hovering right here, I can click and drag, and I can separate these two values, or separate the bright tones so that it gives me a range, and I can play with these values, and you see it starts to drop away. Well, and I can see kind of, you know, the sky through here. Well, now what if I wanted to do this? I could go up here to blending mode, and I could choose some different blending mode options, and you can see that some of it just starts to disappear, and you can kind of see some of the dirtiness of that sky down here. So you could try to drop some more of it out, but you want to be really careful not to drop out too much, because then you might start missing some of the pixels, like in the wings or something like that. So the other thing that I can do is I can adjust this, and if I pull too far down, you see it starts to cut some of the wings out. Let me actually, I'm just going to go ahead and say okay really quick so I can blow this up, and you'll see what I'm talking about as I expand. All right, so, and this is, you know, blown up almost 300%. So I can go back here to my blending mode by double clicking now where it's got this little BlendIf, and I can adjust this now. You can see better as I drag the scale back out. You can see what's happening with the widest tones. All right, so if I leave that up here, I get like a lot more of information in the wings, but then I get a lot of the sort of dirtiness down here. And so you can sort of adjust things to the point where you find it acceptable. It's a little bit cleaner, not completely clean. You could also like play around with different options. I don't want color burn, right? But you can start to get some ideas of the different ways that you can adjust this. Now, you can also adjust the opacity a little bit if you think that that's going to help, and it might help with some of these tones down here. So let's just kind of play with that and see what we've got. I'll look at this again at 100%. All right, and then if I back this up and hit play, you see now what we've got is this fly just sort of walking around in the sky. All right, so that's a really quick demonstration of how you can start to use the blend mode, or using BlendIf in Photoshop on a video. And the other thing too is that if I want, I should be able to go and right click on my layer and I could convert it to a smart object, and it should still work, right? So if I go back and play, you see it's still working. Shouldn't be a problem. The place where you might have a problem is if you had to try to rasterize it. If you were to rasterize the layer, then basically what it does is it takes it as a single frame from the image, and it does that, and that's not what we want. Okay, so if I undo that and get rid of that rasterizing, it's a smart object, and we should be good. Okay, that's the end of this demo.